Alright, what's up, Go enthusiasts? Hello everybody. We have Tengen as a first move. Wow. This is gonna be a fun game. Tengen already. And then a 5-4 as well in the bottom right. Holy cow. You guys seeing this? Wow. Okay. Wait already knows what he wants to do, which apparently is not into the 5-4, but into the other corner. This is probably relatively rare. As a response, at least I always go against the 5-4 when I see the 5-4. But all right, let's see. This is something pretty exciting here. Interesting opening. We love to see an interesting opening. It is excellent, absolutely excellent. Okay, yeah. To confirm here, Yi Yao Hu versus Yishan Zhao. And Yi Yao Hu is white, Yishan Zhao is black. So yeah, it was Yishan with Tengen. He has been known to play Tengen occasionally. Huang Longshe would not be proud. Huang Longshe is not a Tengen enjoyer. Yes, as far as I know. 5-4 Tengen opening plus a monster energy drink. That's true. The overall mix. I love to see it. With reverse Komi. Oh, no. You're talking about something maybe back. No. This is normal Komi. This is an even game. Both these players on board 1 presumably means that they won their first 2 games of the day. And maybe that's what's giving Black the confidence to try to Tengen. Yes, white is Miss Bear on OGS. Really nice guy. We were chatting once at a Go Congress or something, and he told me that his kids like my YouTube videos, which is crazy to hear. but I love it. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so let's commentate the game. So they started Tengen. Approach on the inside there. I get the feeling that white does not like the idea of that. So white is trying to hop in here, and like the jump out, white could have chosen, instead of jumping out, he could have put his stone into 3-3. That would be a normal way, but obviously I'm talking about situations, by the way, where there's no stones, like yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to do it here. I think we have a way to make the let me see if I can figure it out again. I'm pretty sure we have a way to cover up. Oh, but I'm not sure I remember. Sorry, I'll figure that out another time. To give a variation in the past. But anyway, normal variation could have been to invade, take the corner, and then give back the outside there. But white didn't do it, so presumably white wants the outside. However, black is probably not intent on giving it to him. We might be seeing this Joseki. This would be fun. I'm sure black would like to do this in a variation with the Tengen Stone. I actually looked into this a bit recently. What was it that I saw? I saw something going on here. Right click, that's the way. Yes, that's the way. So yeah, after pincer, a normal way would have been to do this one, and then yada, right? But then black would have this big thing, and probably black would be not nervous to use it. And I think white did not like this kind of game. So that's why white jumped out instead, and why white is now thinking. He's like, how do I avoid giving black the type of game you want? You can't if it's Tengen. You gotta give something that they want. So here it is. Okay. As expected. So if we have this, Hane under is natural, and then I saw something here. What was it? I think the way was like this, Oh gosh. I'm not fully remembering. There's some fun things that we can do here. We're gonna have to see if they go for it. Obviously, this sort of standard, boring way is to do it like this. I suspect that black is more of a cutter, cut and fight, than do it the standard, boring way. Once you start with Tengen, it doesn't really make sense to give them influence to Tengen, because now this is not really well placed. But in the fight, you know, if this situation becomes really intense and black cuts, and we have this situation, that Tengen stone can be very active. Oh, we have the kick. Okay. This is a fine way as well. Doesn't this pattern require both ladders? I used to think so. I used to think that this was like a ladder needing variation, but yeah, I clearly I think I need to study it more. I think there were some variations where you don't need ladders, and you can still play something interesting. Anyway, you can see White immediately prioritizing to block here because he really wants the thickness to this part. I like what Yishun did here. Use that threatening to get something back with this Hane. Still, I would say the Tengen has not been satisfied with this, but Black is happy to get all this corner territory. I don't want the echo. Hold on, how did that happen? Oh, it was from that. Oh, I see. From the Zichen raid. Thank you, Zichen, very much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. I was watching. It was a rough last game or two, but yeah, hopefully the rest of it was going well. Much appreciated for the raid. We are here watching round 3, a Tengen game. Yishan played Tengen. This is gonna be a good one. Definitely. So, yeah. After the Tengen, we had just an enclosure, and then this one. Sorry. After the Hane, we had just an enclosure, and then an enclosure again. Who are the players? So you may know Black, Yishan Zhao, as Miss Bear on OGS, and White is Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo 7 on. In fact, let me see if I have some stats for these guys. So Yahoo is the 3rd highest rated player to enter at 7.4 Dan AGA. And Yishan is only around my rank AGA. I'm 5.9, he's 6.0. So yeah, it's a 6 Dan versus 7 Dan, but I don't know. we'll have to see. I haven't heard of Yihao. Yahoo. Perhaps it's because I am on the wrong coast of the United States and we just never played each other. But he's here in the California State Championship. So after an approach, we see somewhat standard opening now. They're falling back to being far more normal. Eric Lee says he's strong. All right, I trust Eric Lee. Zichen with the double raid. Appreciate it. Did already go the first time, but I've had this several times or failed to make it work. Yeah, it's an interesting position we have. White to play here, figuring out what he wants to do, how he wants to handle this black bottom side, the black top side, all these things. If I were White, I think I'd play here. This is my choice of direction. There's obviously many choices of direction which are fine, but this seems okay. chooses to play on the bottom side. This is also okay. So this is directly playing to the bottom side, not allowing black to make it potentially big. We can see, so the most normal Joseki here would be, I guess probably we should exchange the pushes and play some bottom side move like this. Then black would get a chance to play over here. Somehow I was thinking it might be kind of good for black to approach this, although I don't really trust the next black move. Like the next thing black would do locally is probably just like push and give up on attacking. I don't think black should really be seriously attacking this. Although you can think about it. You can think about putting it under pressure. But this white is a pretty thick shape. It's hard to make it small, but possible actually. I mean, if you really want to put effort into it. There's something going on there. Not much, but something. Oh, we have a sideline here. Yishan choosing to take the corner more directly, like this. Huh. So typically, this is not played because the white stone is lighter here. And you usually are going to prefer to put the exchange on 1 for 2. You can have that or you cannot have that. So why do you want to have it normally? Well, most of the time after this, if black plays another strong move on the bottom side, white is going to be upset. Like, oh, I gave you the corner, and then also you have some further outside, and you're capturing me. But in this situation, if white does some other thing and black plays here, white doesn't have to be upset. Even though they lost the corner, they at least didn't give like another stone and another bit of outside to black. It's like much easier to be flexible for white here. Still, probably um, it can make sense to do in this situation because white is still thinking that he wants to do something on the bottom side. We're probably still gonna see some move like this, and it's like it's possible for black to have done it this way. I can't even say it's better, even when white answers, because white will still be thinking about using a peep and using a wedge even, um, if they if they want to get aggressive about it. But usually it would be like that you just use it gently from the outside and give black the right side in some situations. This would be totally possible. Hmm. White is using a surprising amount of his time in the opening, considering that this is a Fisher tournament. So Fisher time settings mean he's spent 5.5 minutes so far, and yeah, perhaps the later stages of the games might be more important, but this is still relatively important. You can see he eventually went back to pick my choice, but now this is definitely a bad exchange if you're going to play from here, because it made this black group much thicker. So um, should mean less for black if white comes in to reduce, and also when black fixes, it would also mean more. Like it's just nice to have this exchange when in the situation where black was getting under pressure. This is an interesting choice as well by black. He's saying this exchange helps me if I swallow this bottom side on a huge scale. That's also true. That's also true, I think. So the variation he's looking for is white to play here, black extend, white play here, black block. The block is super comfortable. Okay, and we have white playing the wedge directly to stop it. Because if this variation happened like this, white wouldn't really be able to use the cut, and it would be hard to come in. You'd have to come in directly like this. And you might regret that you gave black more thickness to the bottom side. So white's thinking like, that's not a good flow. I'm gonna shift the flow by being aggressive right now. Go for the wedge. I appreciate that. That looks like a strong idea. And now we have some fighting variations available. Um, first of all, if black is like backing off and playing on the outside this way, probably it's going to be okay for white. This exchange is now looking quite good, and white's Atari here makes a nice position on this side. I don't think black would be able to be comfortable taking a bottom side, taking bottom right corner or the bottom side very well. So, okay, he's gonna do it. If it were me, I would be thinking about trying the Atari here and Atari here combo, and then I'd be curious about what's happening in like the full trading. But okay, instead we have Atari connect, and now maybe Sean is thinking about playing. No, he does do it. Okay, I think in this case the wedge should be effective. It should be that white did something pretty good here. Uh, I was showing white continuing to play this Atari. Um, this is possible. It's fine. White also doesn't need to do it. It's possible to omit as well if white has more energy. But to me, I think that this one is really big because if white, let's say, omits it to play, on the bottom side somewhere, then these moves are quite annoying to me. Like if I were white, I would be feeling very annoyed. We end up in this tiny space on the right side with all this thickness, like way over thick. And it seems like black would be getting a lot of power in the center, which they could then use, just actively somehow. So to me, I like starting here, letting black play a move, and then handling the bottom side. Like you can let black get a lot more and be okay because we got much greater power thickness over here. If after you play this, then black answers, my idea is we can tenuki directly. Should be better to have exchanged this because black can't make the same pushing pressing. Instead, if black wants to press, it should be this way, and I think we can just Atari under, and I don't think this is powerful at all for black. So he plays the Atari. I agree. And we have black trying to take a huge thing on the bottom side. This is a common follow-up. So most people who are not familiar with this one-space jump shape, they think that you should start by playing here. But if you do that, white is going to play an immediate invasion, something like this, and it's really awkward. you find yourself in some kind of trouble. If you want to like pincer it, that seems to make sense, right? But then suddenly there's like wedge coming, you have to connect, and then there's this one coming. Are you gonna play under? And then there's this one coming, and it's like, did I even do anything? Did I even block the bottom side? Like I'm giving away all of this aji. It's so annoying. So it makes sense then if you're thinking, oh, my opponent is just going to come in anyway. Instead of trying to set up the area that's the absolute widest and the biggest, you should just set up an area which is too big and difficult, the most difficult for the opponent to handle. That's a generally good strategy. So the idea that Yishun has here is a savvy idea. It means if white comes in like this, then my stone is a far more effective attacker than like the blocking stone would be, because the other white assisting stones are further away, right? So if white came in this way, then black could do something like cap, and generally white would have to find a way to solve the pressure. It would be very difficult. So you can see white is not now going into the bottom side, but he goes over here to the upper right. So the downside of playing these moves, which are asking for a big enough area, but not the biggest area, is that the next move that you play is often not as imposing. So white playing over there means if black plays here, so what? You already have a stone that's way too close to your thickness, right? So it wouldn't be that sensible for black to play a move over there. And, black could be playing something like connect and building and trying to continue to finish this. But white is thinking if black does start handling the bottom side, he'll let him do it, and he'll start attacking the upper right corner, and that can be more valuable. If there were, if there wasn't a thing. If it looks like this, then the black corner group, losing all its territory and starts getting attacked, seems, excuse me, seems to have had a large switch in fortune. So that's why black played the sort of standard kick on top of it move. Um, Sort of a standard variation here. Um, hmm. Okay. So there's some interesting things that can happen in the upper right corner still. A common move that white does after this is direct through 3. And then after that, black can play on either side. If they play here, then white will usually be trying to save directly. And probably now he thought that's too hard. So you can do something like this. You're usually going to have to use some outside power. So for example, right now, this fighting would be not working for white, but it would be working if we could just surround black on the outside. So usually we have to wait a bit. If you do wait a bit and black does this one, then um, this situation is a better situation than you would think. So actually, some people are going to start here if they want to play on the top side as well, trying to get this shape and aiming at this. The key is if black ignores, it seems like you should be able to ignore, right? Then there's going to be peep first, and then there's going to be cut here. And the point is that then this cut is not working. So um, the normal follow up that you would expect to see in this stuff is sorry. Can I undo? Let's say, yeah, we're just playing away. I should go commentate the actual game, shouldn't I? The normal follow up that you expect to see here is like, oh, you can't cut because the peep isn't there, so you only do this. But there's actually, when there's a peep over here, that means that the cut is very serious. Anyway, these things, basically the cutting point over here, white is not going to want to turn because the peep from the inside is going to help out a lot for saving stuff in the corner later. But for now, I like Yi Yao not continuing to do anything because there was nothing clearly making a working idea over there. And yeah. So instead, since oops, sorry about that. No, that's not what I wanted either. Since I was rambling, they played a few moves. It was pincer, right? Attach, hane, clamp, hane, I presume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While I was talking about the upper right corner. And Yishan is thinking about how to handle that. I would also be thinking. I feel like I've seen this stuff before, but not very recently. What was it that we were supposed to do? I think there's a couple ways. So this is the most standard variation, if I remember correct. I believe there's something, yeah, here. I believe this is Joseki, and white extend here, and then, oh, sorry. No, I messed up. It's extend here, this one, block first, then here, then there's a question as to whether you want to Atari from these sides or use this one first. It can be board dependent on which side you want the thickness. So if you play here, then if you get it, that's going to be great. If you can get the whole thing, this is very good for white. But you might not get it, I think was the point. Black might choose to instead connect through on this side. So you might not be able to get that descend. So we have the extend here. I think Yonkyo Do has a video on this Joseki, by the way. I'm getting a familiar feeling, like Yunkyo has talked about this. Yunkyo Do, the professional, has agreed to commentate round 5, the final round of this tournament. So if you want to know more about this Joseki, you can find her video on YouTube, or you can ask her tomorrow when she commentates the championship round. That'll be very exciting. I'm gonna be tuning in for sure. So make sure you don't forget. Oh, we have a turn here. So obviously that's gonna force black to run through. And white has decided on basically a totally different end result than the the one I'm vaguely remembering. So this way, now if black ever in the future plays at A, white will play at B and save in the corner. At least that's the plan. So white is trying to make it so that he can maybe kill all these on the outside. It's quite interesting. Black is just running and taking his left side. So he's saying the left was very big. You really want to give that much to me? It makes sense, actually, what black is doing. And I think that this is slightly bad for white. Very small amount, but I do believe black has the better of him here. Basically, the the amount of territory that he's getting will match that part. And originally, this was, remember, this was white's corner that black approached, and then white played an additional move after the approach. So when black is still securing this much territory, probably something went wrong for white, even though white has some nice influence still. But it's actually pretty hard to use it in the upper right corner directly. Like you can get something on this part. I hope I showed. There's some amount that you deserve, but you can't like attack the corner. The corner is pretty solid. So this is a difficult moment for white. He's considering what to do. I would not want black to play at A because that is really threatening to play B and C and murder. That doesn't seem acceptable. And it also is like very nice for the potential black thickness to this area, which actually is starting to become something that could be real with a Tengen-stun. So if it were me, I think I would play here. Presumably we're gonna see black just extend, if that, and then he just like the reason why black jumped is because he wanted to force white to extend one more time. No, we see this one instead. I'm not sure. Is that one better? Is that one better? Like obviously you're looking at more points that way. I guess it should be better. You know what? I can agree actually. My intuition was probably wrong here. My understanding. I think my understanding now is he wanted this to be secure and safe. C10 AI move? Yeah, it's better. It's better. So the point is, if you compare to, between this one and this one, if it were like this, then when white comes this way, the black group can get more weak. Yeah. And you might think, well, yeah, obviously. And isn't it sort of normal to go and get the extra space? Maybe um, maybe it should be to go get extra space on the third line. Maybe this is something that I should consider normal. But the reason why I don't consider it normal is because there is a lot of potential for cutting Aji here. And the chances that those cuts can be used not just straightforwardly like A, B, C is not working, for example, but also in more exotic ways, like what if I play A? Are you going to block? Well, then what if I push and throw in and then I aim at like counter ladder or something like that? There's all sorts of exotic things that you can do against this. But in general, it's an outside way, and you should be able to fight against those. And like this move is on the outside and contributing and is in the right space. So it seems like the amount of power that we get by filling an outside liberty of these white stones was pretty negligible, and the territory was much more important. Yeah, I agree. I should learn that A is better than connect. That's definitely true. Oh, he tries the slide under. Wow. This is somewhat foreign to me. Normally, when I want to play to the upper or to the bottom left corner here, and I have this kind of shape, is I want to start with the attach like this. And then I want to play this one. And I feel it puts more pressure than just the slide. I don't think I'm a fan of the slide because after white bumps here, you probably have to go back this way. Now, you could try otherwise. Yeah, is not necessarily true. Like after this one, we could go in, Hane play this and be fierce about it. This might be what he's planning. Um, Often it's not very good if things go normally. So usually white is going to get thick on the outside. Black might be able to save, or black will get thick on the outside and white will kill. One of those things. It's very risky. It's much more common to see this one here. And if we did see this one, which is normal, something like this, the white shape, yeah, in the corner here, black is attaching as if this shape will become thin. But even though the white shape is small, it's not thin. And it's generally pretty easy to figure out what your resources are and use, for example, so what we're going to see here is Atari here like this, and then some saving on the outside. It might be this one. White will be very, very thick on the bottom side. Wow. Okay, never mind. we have we have resistance from white. He's saying you gave me AB so I can do it. But actually, usually AB is not enough in order to do this. This is so like obviously the cut is not working. That's what is read. It's like, oh, you can't cut like this. But that isn't what black is going to be thinking about using. Black is going to be thinking about using this one and this one and this one, and it's dangerous is the point. So this way, for example, you can see here the Liberty race is yeah, it's one Liberty good for for black. I made a misclick, but that won't even be what like black is gonna do right away. Even though he has a potential to do it, he's just gonna aim at it, and it's gonna be super annoying for white. I mean, maybe he'll do it right away. That would be fun. But normally what black does is he plays a move like this one. And that's going to make it so that the cut threat that white might have been able to ignore before is like must answer. And basically white is going to have to cover. Honestly, it can be playable if it goes like this. The Kama is more important. Are you talking about this bottom side Kama? Maybe white is thinking that as long as he fixes this one, he's going to be okay. The Kama? Yeah. So this is what I was talking about. But actually, this 2 move looks like it's a pretty good way to clean up the fact that we descended. Kind of interesting. Strange. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, we have a block first. So obviously this is putting a lot of pressure on this stuff where if you if you want to cover it now, then I'm just going to link up and it's going to be huge. So he's not expecting, I think, that white will ignore it. It's going to be either descend or some other way. Like if you go and attack the 2 stones right now, you can naturally save your own cut. So you can allow it like this and go and say that the capturing the 2 stones is bigger. I don't know if I agree, but something like this is possible. I'm not sure I'm a big fan. The idea that I can see here is like, if I got this exchange, just push block, push for descent, then I might have gained territory in the sense that now when I play away and white plays the move on the bottom side, it's better to have exchanged just push for descend than not. However, we lose all the pressure that white was supposed to spend a move here. Wow, and white does not spend a move fixing directly, but pushes out. I'm not sure I understand the push out move. This is like a active fight move, but I'm not sure we can fight for the cut in the center right now. It doesn't seem like a very valuable direction. It's making this part more powerful, but it was already, I thought, working. Maybe I don't see why this would change something. Ooh, Hane first. This is a interesting way. So I was always showing the jump first, but Hane first, presumably intending on this variation. So now if white captures, then black would capture the corner, which saves those 2 stones. It's much bigger than it looks. So white might be thinking about backing off fully, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it does not want to do it. It wants to do this stuff. If this happens, still we're making the same threat and we're making Atari, and we're gonna be safe here, even if it goes like this. So we have the clamp. Yeah, it's a treat to commentate. It's really nice. Thank you to the San Diego Go Club, to Enrique. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Enrique. I'm so sorry, but very much thank you to the organizers from the San Diego Go Club and the California State Championship. They've put so much planning. The planning document, just the streaming script, is 8 pages long. And that's not like they told us what to say. It's just all the planning and details that they have set up for us. So much preparation, and also much thanks to Tangjae for creating the software, which allows me to put these stones on the board for you. So we got to see beforehand that black was going to go save the stones in the corner, and white was going to capture the stone on the bottom side and use this push through. It's very cool to have the full technology to, I get to put a stone on the board. I get to show you that black wants to block. It's so cool. Black block, because this is the board they're literally playing on. You can see their coffee and the Monster Energy drink and their heads. is great. So black block here. If black blocks, then white would want to play. I mean, white really wants to do this one. I think black. The only reason black is hesitating is because he's thinking about whether he wants to Atari here first, allowing this to capture. Probably it's not that good to capture a stone and let white run, but it's not that good. But already black is better, even though this is not the best thing he can do. Don't like this at all for white. Yeah, I think white was sort of filled with too much bravado with A and B. He did not respect the Aji in the corner that he left behind with this descending move. He's gonna learn that this descend is not allowable. Like, you cannot descend and then allow the Aji, is what I mean to say. Now, I don't know about this black table shape. People seem to think that table shape is a good shape. I am here to tell you I am a table shape denier. Table shape is not a good shape in general. In general, it is a bad shape. That is my genuine opinion. The reason why people say table shape is good shape, in my opinion, is because there are rare circumstances where bamboo is too slow and you need more time. So, like, you get table shape with more time. So what I'm talking about is like the bamboo shape, which is the superior shape. Yes, could sometimes be too slow, and this one will have a threat and allows you to follow up to the other side. Like, that's why table shape is ever possible, in my opinion. And I do not like this kind of general table shape. I think that this is a shape which is just asking to get broken, wedged, reduced, and it's very hard to have all your stones remain in good spots after a shape like this. So rather than table, I would have preferred to see block here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just like to see a block. I think it's strong. And if you aren't going to block, you don't have the courage to block, then at least I want you to play bamboo rather than table. I think it's genuinely just better. I don't know, like, after this one, do I want to push? No, I don't. I want to play here, right? Why would I want to push? But table shape forces you to push, basically, by Tawari. Okay, we had the upper right stuff start going, and white is indeed keen on putting some pressure on black. So I believe that white has realized that this bottom right is not going that well. He could have chosen to play, or bottom left, I mean. I mix up my left and rights. He could have chosen to play like this. Perhaps they're thinking if white tries this one, black is going to Atari here. And when white captures the stone, black is going to block on the outside. But to me, this is not possible. That can't be right. That is not something worth thinking about. So to me, if you play here, then it's like this, and then white could run through. I am a split shape enjoyer, so I would do this. Yes, Tangjae made the software. Much credit to Tangjae. Shoutouts to Tangjae. Really awesome, awesome work. It's white's top right. That's right. Um, so yeah, he could have continued to save over here, but he notices that down here, this is his sente. So white is like literally already alive. Even though I'm a split shape enjoyer, split shape is useful because of the power balance. So splitting this shape makes white stronger in the form that they can attack both these sides. But you're not really going to attack the bottom side. It has territory, and you can attack that one, but when white just kills it, that's it. So Wei has given up on continuing to play, and he's just said, "Okay, I'm alive. Let's move on, and let me try to bring the game back in the upper right." That makes sense to me. So he did the aggressive thing, and then he's gone for the peep. Black pushed one time. That's preventing the clamp. I'm expecting black to connect here. So if black hadn't exchanged this and just connect directly, then white would play the clamp like this. That would be really annoying because it's starting to build a bottom side for white and starting to make a surround on the black group. So when black so first of all, white can try to save with this. Then here, here. What exactly is going on here? So if black pushes, then white's alive. That's fun. If black doesn't push, is there a way to kill? I don't think so. White's alive, right? So this is a living shape that you can do. If you can get that sente, which is debatable but likely. Okay, anyway, point being, if white manages to save in the corner, then getting the clamp would be really powerful because it makes it much more that this black group has trouble counterattacking these two stones. It doesn't have like a route underneath them if white has already clamped and black is forced to go on the first line rather than the second line. So it makes a lot of sense to push just one time. That N2 is like a basic natural move. And now, yeah, he was considering not connecting. So presumably he's thinking about killing in the corner, allowing the cut, because white can't hane. This would be bad. So this is indeed what he's doing. So after cut, white would have to extend. Maybe now you can do it, because now it's a ladder this way. So if you now see cut here, you would see hane at this moment. Then black has 4 liberties, white has 4 liberties. So when black plays here, black could capture. Is that good? I'm not really sure. I don't know if I would say that's a great solution to the problem. Um, there, like white would be able to reduce black down in that variation to having only the 4 points capturing these, because white would reduce all of that. So you're not actually getting that many points that you might think that you're getting when you do this way. Comparison: if black had played the stone here, and white goes in and tries to save, right? So we saw that this one is alive earlier. Well, problem for white to go in and save it, right? We can do it all the way like this. That's great. And white is alive, apparently. Um, there's still a lot of weaknesses on the outside. There's still a lot of control of the outside. Even though white saves this, I don't feel like it's as good. Also, this is a problem. I agree with white, actually. I like this idea from white. White's saying, hey, are you really going to kill me just by 1 liberty? What if I do this and cut you first? So now if you come back and play here, so now this one would be gone. White can Atari and then capture these 2 stones. So you can't even capture it if it goes like that. Then black said, okay, I can connect on the outside, and I got this exchange, which maybe helps. Is it really a helper even to get that exchange? So if it goes like this, how's the life and death now? Black to play. Can black kill the corner? Mm, intuition's no, right? I think black cannot kill the corner if it goes like this. I think that's alive. Black's best bet is here, and then white goes here, and then black tries. Yeah, I don't know what black can try. Black tries here, here, here. White does this, black does this. That would kill. That's kind of a nice sequence. Oh, so after 6, 7 had to be at 8. My bad. So it looks like this one is going to. Oh, but he didn't do it. If white had played here and black played this one, white could cut here and then get some endgame back from the right side. But he isn't doing it. He's doing it this way instead. This one is not alive. So now, if it goes like this, black is killing white in a bent 4 in the corner. Now, the problem with killing a bent 4 in the corner is that if you actually have to do it, it's not dead. It's going to be a ko. If you have to execute on it. So white is basically saying, okay, yeah, I can locally die in the corner here, but I'm gonna surround you. So if you really go and kill me, and you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gote, and you kill me in gote, go ahead, you can do that. I'm gonna cover, and you have to live your group. Is he really trying to surround black with a bent 4? Is he nuts? Oh, well, I think he's losing. So he wants the game to be complicated, and the bent 4 in the corner is indeed complicated. But I do think black should be likely to be leading this fight. It should be hard for white, especially since black always has this push. And then there's even stuff going on back here somehow. So it's really hard for white to do stuff actively here. Like you would want to play this way and this way, but then black Atari is ruining. So you don't really have anything to do if let's say you try to do this and it goes like this and here. Well, I guess if you have that one, it would be working. But it's super close to having something with the Aji over here and the Aji in the center. It seems like there's going to be something working for black up there. Can likely just ignore and attack the 2 stones on the top. I mean, it's also possible. So this is what black is thinking about. Is like running out directly and allowing white to live is totally reasonable. But he's started with a push here, which creates some weaknesses in the center. However, it gives white some control on the right side, and then he's playing the broken bamboo directly. So the reason why to play this directly is because white should not be able to punish you on the outside immediately. We could then immediately Atari capture, break out. It would be bad. So we're expecting white to be coming back, capturing this stone somehow, and that could be here or in other ways. But the idea should be I force them to come back there, and I can run out faster. Of course, white could come back to save the group now, but black does at least have some nice shape on the outside. Now, wait, if I were white, I would be thinking about the super strong way because I know I'm losing, so I got to do something, right? So if you do it this way, then black can't immediately save those. Black would probably want to be playing something like Hanne directly, something like this. It's going to be hard for white to cut because anytime black saves this, it's threatening this side and the other side. So I think if it goes like this, then Hane is going to be really annoying for white. White could come back to save, but then black has like any sente move. Yeah. Attack these, and black would have control of the game. I mean, black is having control of the game in all sorts of ways here, but the question is like how can he try to improve his position, right? I'm not really sure that this immediate start is improving his position. But I agree in general that he should be handling the outside. Like his approach of I will not kill the bent 4 in the corner until I am thick on the outside makes a lot of sense to me. Because if you ever have to go back and like add extra moves to kill the bent 4 in the corner, it would make the initial move, which is killing them right now, not big enough. Even killing them right now when there isn't outside dispute is still something white is thinking might not be big enough. And you might be kind of curious, how can it not be big enough to like save or kill an entire group next to another group? The problem is that that group requires effort to kill, so it will not give strength to black. It only takes strength from black to try to kill it. Um, and from that perspective, this is like the amount of territory under here and a negative in strength is how big saving this is, or killing, saving or killing is. And how big is that? Well, we can check the amount of area which is changing. So if white saves, white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is probably white sente. This is probably white sente afterwards. Um, so about 14 points of area that are changing control. And so the change of control from white being able to put their stones there and dominate to black being able to take it as all their points is worth 2 points per in general. So we can say that this move is a total of about 27, 28 points Gote and minus strength. So how is that possibly something that's ignorable? 28 points, doesn't that sound like it's big enough? Thing is 28 points swing. So when black plays versus when white plays is 28 points totally different. And that means the move itself, like we are currently in the middle, and then we could go to plus 14 or we could go to minus 14, depending on who plays, right? But the current situation is that it's unsettled. So if black plays, it becomes killed, and if white plays, it becomes alive. And those total situations are 28 points different from each other, right? So the size of the move in the upper right is 14 points minus the strength, whatever the strength implications are of that. It's not a positive strength implication, it's a negative one. So definitely the moves in the upper right corner to like kill or save that are going to be worth about, let's say, about 12 points, 13 points. That should be a good estimation. Probably even more like 11 or 12. And so when you compare that with normal moves, you know, for example, the first moves, empty corners, are worth actually 14 points because Farrakome would be 7, right? Actually, open corners are more like 13, 13 and a half, something like that. But these active middle game moves, especially during a fight, they're definitely going to be bigger than 11 or 12 point early endgame moves. So this it's very reasonable what they're doing playing away from here. All right, this is like way too much explanation, maybe. But yeah, they're continuing to play on the bottom side, and the fight is heating up. Black managed to get in A for B. I'm sure he was very happy about that. White was treating it as black sente. And white managed to get an A for B. I'm sure that white was very happy about it. Black was treating it as white sente. White is currently trying to swim in this black area. I think still he realizes that this game is not going well for him from the bottom left area, from the bottom left fighting. So he's trying to do something to make the game switch back in his favor. Ideally, what White wants to have happen here is that he saves this group really well. How would that happen? Yeah, this kind of way. It happens when black has to take care of his weaknesses and ends up playing some really passive move instead of a strong attack. So if white manages to save in this area and like black is just taking care and black just runs out and gets nothing from this, this could very well turn out to be great for white when this whole thing, which was supposed to be black's like area potential moya, becomes white territory and black doesn't get a big benefit from it, right? So black is going to have to try to make sure he's not too slow here, and also that his his threats, whatever his real threats are, they get respect. It's a pretty interesting moment, guys. This is like the moment of maximum pressure where even professionals really don't know how to play this kind of position 100% correctly. When you're black, you're like pretty thick over here, you're pretty thick over here. They've got a weak group, but it's not exactly clear what you can do to that weak group. Like you could say it's surrounded, for example. We can say that, yeah, and probably we'll be able to surround it. I mean, there's some problem over here, so maybe we need a better move. um, I'm not exactly sure, but something like this. Like maybe we could surround it, maybe not. Honestly, is still difficult. Is it even worth it if you could? Because when you don't do that, let's say black goes here, which would be to me very tempting right now to go and just cut over here, save this start, save this side, make sure that we can attack this strongly from the center. This would be to me really comfortable as a plan. When white runs through the center, that's not making territory anyway. And black already made some territory. So maybe this is something that we can say this was like a successful attack, that black's stones are in better position than white. And then maybe white would say, well, I have to be more aggressive. Maybe after black cuts here, white would try to take the territory on the bottom side like this. Entirely reasonable. Then as black, you're thinking, well, maybe I have to take this territory first, force them to run out, put some pressure on that, and then take this territory too. Maybe this is the best way to make everything as positive for me as possible. Or maybe then after that, white would run this way because white doesn't want to run to the other side. So maybe I'm supposed to attack from here and then from this side force them to run this way and then treat this as the last endgame and let white play now, where white has already saved but doesn't have anything comfortable to play anywhere on the board. This would be a really reasonable way to do too. Maybe white would come back finally to take the big points, saving the upper right group. Many options. This is indeed a good situation for Yishan to take his time and think. Did you just make a table shape? I did. So this is one of the situations where table shape is possible, right? It's a situation where you made it by accident. So you would have extended here anyway. This is what you were going to do regardless. And then this stone is like not that misplaced. But don't get me wrong, that stone is slightly misplaced. If I could take that stone and put it in the fight, turn, cut, something like that, I would rather it be like that. But it's a good point actually to make because this is like I don't like that variation very much because we did misplace our own stone this way. I do think that's inefficient. Like to claim black made a table shape in the center, isn't that too slow? Isn't that variation bad? Is a reasonable criticism and a good reason to call that variation bad. Like it's genuinely a good point. Although it is funny. Hmm. So ultimately, black decided that the white attachments over here were very thick. And then he wants to make sure he can connect it. Crazy proficient with this software. I have tried it a couple times before, so unlike my fellow commentators, I have some experience, and also made some suggestions that were implemented. So some of the like dream features just for me are the way that the software works, which is obviously very nice as a user to talk directly to the person making the software and be like, "Yo, I would love it if the UI worked like this." And they're like, "Yeah, let's do that." So for example, for me on my feed here, I don't think you can see it, but when I'm hovering over, it like hovers a black stone, a white stone. Um, which if I click, I could then put a black stone or a white stone there, and that indicates to me like which color of stone I'm going to put in. I don't have any question about that. I know like, what tool to use to put in the colors correctly. Yeah, I forgot about the left shift hotkey, but it was told to me, and now I feel very comfortable. It's very nice. Uh, yeah, everything is looking good. Great. My dream feature for that software was a test suite. A test suite. I don't even know what you mean either. I don't think it got implemented. Um, so Yi Yao is now thinking what to do after that bump. So this bump would not be the thing that I start with, but it is a reasonable way. It's a possible way. White can choose to just become really thick here, but if you do that, you're inviting the opponent to say, "Hey, you're too slow." I think this way. This jump would be putting pressure on black, like how exactly you're going to attack me. Yeah does a very similar move. I like this actually. I like this idea. Very similar idea to the jump, but like don't bias yourself too much. And finally, this one got taken. It was tough for Wait because Wait, Wait honestly should really want to go in and just like screw the bottom side. I'm gonna save the corner. So be it. To do what you will on the bottom side, but it's really difficult to have enough courage to actually like make it happen. Even when you're behind, I don't have enough courage to do this kind of thing because it's hard to imagine that we would get a real counterattack on black. Like part of the reason why we want to do this is because it is attacking black. Like black is not alive now. So if you do that and then you go back and you start defending the bottom side, in theory we could put pressure. If we surround black, black would be in trouble. But it's hard to actually make a surround on black happen. Oh, but this is so annoying that black pushes through. It's really big. It's really big. And now when we save on the bottom side, it's just going to be fair. Because black thickened this part, he thickened this part, he's doing fine. They look like band-aids. It is funny that it's a very slightly different tone of wood, right, on the cover up than the tone that we have here. But it is a funny band-aid thing. Anyway. White doesn't have territory because white is a part of black's territory right now. I mean, white has the upper left area, and white has something on the right side here. But definitely black is leading by territory. It's like clear. Black even has half captured this, and he might be doing fine even if he hadn't half captured that. You have no aspirations of setting up an automatic board coloring empty stone. Y'all need to eat your veggies. Yeah, no, it's actually charming, I think, to have this like this specific board empty board like thing. It's a feature, not a bug, to cover it up like that. Looking like a band-aid is preferred. Exactly. It's very nice. It's very nice. We appreciate it. So we have the Hane exchange. So this is going to get exchanged for the answer, like that. Oh, and he goes for the clamp. Interesting. So idea of this is if black answers, then white wants to connect in Sente, force black to answer that. If black doesn't answer, then white would be able to capture the descending stones, and then white would get a benefit on the right side for free. So black naturally wants to play this way instead, but then white will play ko. And because black never connected this one, it's hard for black to make any kind of reasonable counterattack. So indeed, instead, he chooses to descend here. Now, the good news for black is that he does not have to go back and capture. I think it would be a mistake if he does. But yeah, right now, if black plays something, I don't know, something random aggressive, let's say this one, then if white goes here and black plays this one, black can get all of these moves in Sente, which is more than enough to be making a living shape, especially since this part is not strong. Yeah. So at the moment, what white is doing, if he manages to capture those two stones, if he goes in and does it, is switching points. And again, we can count by area, like I showed you guys before. So the amount of white area that could then become, like if black plays, black should get that one as Sente, right? And if white plays, it's this much. The total area shift is 7, so that you can count the amount of area that's becoming black or becoming white is 14. So the size of the move is only about 7 points or so. And it obviously, this one has a very positive effect on power. So the fact that this black group would not be alive means it's 7 plus a lot, actually. So maybe that move is more like a 10-point move or so. But it maybe 9 points, 10 points, but it's certainly not big enough to be playing while there's a weak group on the bottom side. So this is a clear mistake, and it's actually a really bad decision choice as well, because we're losing an extra point, and we really don't need to be that defensive with this bottom side group. So any move in this area would have been bigger. would have been controlling the game a lot better. That is going to give White small jump back into the game. But I think Black is thinking like, I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to have to make a fight over here and prove that I'm getting value in some way, which I think is just lazy. If you know there's more value that way, just get the value. Don't 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 rest on laurels that are not even complete, in my opinion. Okay, so White is going to try to cause more chaos. So an obvious way for White to play would have been to just jump and save this bottom side, but Black has already shown his disinterest in attacking this bottom side, and it's still hard for Black to make a clear surround. So White has said, you know what, I'm not even going to bother. I know I'm behind, even after you spend that slow move. So I'm going to try to bring back the left side here. Still, White has A, B, Sente, so still that bottom side White group is completely alive. And Black finally comes back and takes that big move in the upper right corner. I actually appreciate that. The most obvious thing to do would have been to jump out, cutting off the live White group over here, and then the weak group, the weak White group over there. But when White runs out, White would have been fine here, I think. White would have probably been fine here. And if White is fine here on the left side, this black stone has literally no effect on the bottom, right? So you really don't want to cut off something from a living group, because the one stone that you play, which is cutting off, it has no effect once this group is safe. And the stones that White is playing to save it, they actually do have an effect. They're reducing a potential black area, and just in general, they emit influence in all the directions, right? So you don't want to touch this kind of group until you're sure that you can actually like punch and make it clear, like, I surround it, I make something really, really strong. And in the meantime, when he leaves it, if White plays some like connecting move here, you can say, hey, that group, that stone is too close to the thickness, it's not making any impact. So I really like that Black took the corner territory over there and said, hey, can you find a move that does have impact in this left side area? It's not so easy. Yeah, a last stone played feature, that might be interesting. I can put it on manually. So White eventually does do this one. I think part of what White is thinking about, because he was thinking for a while, part of what White is thinking about is like what's going on in the corner. It's not as intuitive as it looks. So if Black is really lazy now, does nothing. I don't know what to do with a lazy move. Lazy. Okay, great. There is a throw in here. And now when Black captures that and White Ataris and Black connects, there's some potential to do something. It's not quite working yet, but we're like almost getting there. And there's Atari and then this one as well, and we're like almost getting there to making a pressure on the on the inside. Yeah, we're not quite there. There's not quite something going on, but definitely like what is trying to read to try to find some way to make it nervous. Anyway, Black should ignore that. Black shouldn't be lazy. And to me, in my opinion, the strong, good thing to do is to go here. This is going to be a bit risky, admittedly. So then when Black, inevitably has asked White to connect under, and we have to run out, like, to block, like, this is going to be a little meaninglessly risky. And honestly, maybe it is better to just jump in and don't let them get anything. So hockey names half tables as tippy table. Wow, crazy. Hmm. I think the objectively best thing to do is still this one. I really like this. I feel like it puts weight under a lot of pressure, and there's almost like no no way I can imagine it going wrong if you just start over here. No way! What is he seeing in the bottom left corner? I feel this is a throw. This does not look correct. This does not look correct. What is he seeing over here? Did he think that there was something very important? Like, wait, starts with this one, and then somehow we're just AFK. I honestly have no idea how that could possibly happen. This is just like this. Something is going on. He's thinking like, oh, it's gonna go here and here, this kind of way. He actually put a stone to prevent Wait from playing this one directly, or something like that. So the idea being now, if turn, then I can fight a Ko like that. Even the Ko wouldn't be big enough, by the way, to answer, even if it was actually Ko, and it's not. White could probably play B1. You think White starts here? Starts with this one. There, there. There, there. I agree, this will be Ko. Likely. Here. Yeah, this is likely Ko, but it's ridiculous to answer, even if it is Ko. In the corner, we need to fight the Ko and get 2 moves outside after playing another full move outside. Black is indeed saying I already won and the game is like over, but it's kind of obscene. I don't like playing this badly on purpose. This is I feel like it is not it is not kind somehow. But okay, he did it. So he is now very, 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 very thick in the corner there. Like, if he wanted to play like this, it's ridiculous, right? He needed to play this move if he wanted to make sure that he was thick here. He needed to just run a stone out, not really putting pressure on the left side, but just to make sure that he didn't like he didn't have to put a stone in at the, it's ridiculous that we have a situation that looks like this. I do not like. Anyway, black eventually we have a yeah, black connected, white fixed on the bottom side, allowed this push, um, and eventually we had white turn, and then black is reducing. Where's the next black move though? Well, isn't there supposed to be another black move on the board somewhere? Am I missing something? Oh, black played here, so then this was the next white move. I see. And then we had the connect in this. I forgot that black lost the center on the bottom left. White pre-moved their response. They played very fast. If I already won, why waste brain power? I mean, I understand, but this like I feel I prefer to try to play correct. You know, maybe I'm very naive about this, but I would rather play my game correctly than um. Wouldn't the bottom right happen first? No, I don't think so, but maybe. All right, so now we have something where black is starting a fight. This is to me this is hypocrisy. How dare you start a fight on the bottom side after choosing this way? If you want there to be no fights, you're not allowed to play this. No, no, no. It's not if you won his correct move. I don't agree. It's if they had no chance to win, it's correct move. If you played it like that and then you get losing later, it was incorrect. Whatever you did. If you get a chance to be losing later, even. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this night. So to me, this is just making the game like more intense. What black has done, for the record. Like Um, don't get me wrong. I'm criticizing Black very hard for his attempts to make this game boring because the game is not boring, and he is showing us. So now it seems he wants to play here against this one, and then White is planning this way. So if Black goes this way, White, I presume, wants to do this stuff all the way, aiming at something over here, but probably they won't get it. Oh, this capture, that move was supposed to be here, of course. Um, yeah, after this, White can just descend. Right? Wait, what happened? Atari, capture. Oh, connect. Somehow Black gets the next move. So Black can play the next move to save it, then White descend here and connect at least. They'll save. This means basically we just reduced the White territory, which is not ineffective. Another way White could do it is to block here. So then it's going to go like this. So in this case, Black is captured over here, or Black captures White over here. So Black gets an infusion of points. Probably this is not as good. So the key move to realize there is after this, then Black needs to start with this one. Rather than exchanging anything, I think you might lose your chance to play. But if you find this, then I think it's working. So I'm fairly confident we're going to see the variation this way. Maybe Black will try to do something active, but I think you just have to save it. And then, yeah, I mean, White can choose to put that stone over here, but it's going to have the same effect if I can connect under if I want, and I might not even want. I might try to attack you on the outside. I like this White blocking move. Seems like a good move to me. If Black tries this one first, White will play here. It's not going to be good. Good time to spend 10 minutes, but probably should have done it before jump in. Yes, I'm very critical of Black's A. A, B, and now Black can't win the game easily, ever. And it's because of this one. If that move had been like not AFK, then he could have won the game relatively easily. That move is not. It's just defending a ko. Defending a ko, which is not very good. All right, so we have the only possible move, I believe, here. White might try to do something sort of fancy on the left, but I don't see what it would ever accomplish. I think White should just go for the most direct thing. So to me, this variation is almost forced. The only way to dodge would be something like this. So Black can try this way. This is actually pretty interesting. I guess White would Atari here and then play this way. So White is alive, but Black is much thicker on the outside. We lost too many points probably for this variation to be acceptable. So probably you have to play this way. You guys think it's better? It's probably better to exchange it, right? And here we don't have to necessarily connect back. Okay, White did try to do this exchange first, but I actually think this is a really bad exchange. I think this is giving Black an additional eye shape on the left side that he really didn't deserve it. Miss Bear beat Albert by half a point playing a game like this. Trust his endgame. No, I refuse. Okay, so to credit White, if Black answers, he probably has a different plan. So he's going to go for a different way. But this is not working. So I'm not sure what the different way is. Like, what could be the different plan here? You guys know? I'm not seeing it. I guess maybe we want to do it this way, here, block, everything. So now if cut here, then black is dead and it fails. That means black will not be cutting like that, but oops, sorry. Cutting this way and capturing these stones, white could capture, or white could force black to capture Incente. This is ultimately a really bad result compared to the other one that we were looking at, where black now has more eye shape and white does not have a connection under. It's like much, much, much worse. So white should still, in my opinion, be doing it this way. Now black has a chance to make a ko even because of this really bad exchange, losing some. Um, yeah, basically, it's like black did a throw-in technique, but black didn't do a throw-in technique. So black is up a move if it goes this way, because this stone is so bad that sometimes later in the fight, black would like throw in and force white to play it in Sentai. Give black that stone, or give white that stone. But white actually played it with like his full move while black spent a move. That's not fair. It's really bad. So if it does become that crazy ko, who has more ko threats? Like, still white has some ko threats over here, but the ko becomes about this whole area. It's really a massive ko. So maybe even bottom left ko threats aren't big enough. White definitely has some ko threats here. Those are very, very critical ko threats. And does black have like any threats around the whole board? Black can threaten to capture these. It's not big enough. I think black has like no threats anywhere. Is it true? Katago has an ownership map that essentially estimates each intersection on the board, assigning a value to white or black. Adding those together, and you get something similar to a score estimator. It's not the same as the score lead by Katago. They're similar, but score lead is not accurate. Hmm. I don't know the ownership. Okay, score lead is more accurate. That's what makes more sense to me. Yes. Okay, no problem. Yeah, score lead is more accurate because it's uh, fundamentally been designed as part of the training process. And my understanding is that this ownership map is like um, basically there's two ways to ask your AI questions. One way is you train it to answer the question, and the other way is you take the existing AI and you ask it questions about stuff it's not trained for, but you can do a pretty good job. So my understanding is that the Katago ownership map is not something that it's been trained at like winning with. Score lead has been trained at winning with. Like score lead is supposed to be accurate because it's supposed to be able to win if it gets that much extra komi, like whatever the score lead is. Um, but ownership map, as far as I understand, is like it's like asking ChatGPT about some stuff that it was not trained on. Except it's the Go version. So the ownership map is like kind of accurate in the same way ChatGPT is kind of accurate, uh, but not something like really to trust. But if you wanted to get like what it's literally designed to do, then you can trust the score lead. Anyway, down here we have the extension back. So this is all what I was expecting here. Finally, they're playing it. And I'm expecting this ko now. I actually genuinely believe that black should do it because white's tiger's mouth was just that bad. So they put it on the board for me. I'll take it off. So yeah, this is the moment where black has a choice and he's hesitating whether he wants to play here or here. If I were playing black, I would play this one. And we're, whoops, sorry. Yeah, we're making this ko. Black needs to find a co-threat though. And black doesn't have co-threat. So you know what? Never mind. I would not do this one. This is not good. So black does this. He realizes he has no co-threat. Correct. I agree. So white can now play here. Black has to do that one. White can play here. Black has to do that one. And white is going to connect under. And ultimately, this bad exchange is not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. What would you guys do at this point? After white connected under, saved his weak group, doesn't have to handle anything. We're like kind of weak in the center. We're kind of reducing the top side. We're kind of saving this thing. This is kind of annoying. What do you guys do? What to do is black. Last thing. Isn't it picnicky enough that black would have been fine to fight the ko? It's not that picnicky because black would lose. Like, black has literally no co-threat. Black would lose for sure the ko. And when black loses the ko, he doesn't get to save this bottom side group in Sente. So what's happening here? Like, yeah, white is indeed saving themselves, but they have to spend their gote on it, and this black is at least safe. It's at least alive. Interestingly, white did not exchange AB first, which is maybe strictly better, but anyway, he chose not to do it and did this one. AI wanted the ko. Okay, then AI knows about a co-threat for black. I didn't know about a co-threat for black. Like literally one. So I think that's the question I need to ask it. You'd try to find a way to run out the F3 stun. Black was +9, now it's even. Rough. That is not good news for black. Yeah, this was a big scam. So, you know, when you start a fight like this, you are not going to win the game necessarily off that fight. Rumor has it black is an endgame master. Everybody keeps saying black's an endgame master. I'm very unimpressed so far in this game, but perhaps we haven't started the endgame yet. That's the reason. Once the endgame starts, black is going to turn it up. Man, though, this is hard. This is hard. I think if I'm black, I would want to play A, first of all. I want to touch this and see the white response. Probably white plays B. I think I want to get that. Maybe get a little extra control here. Yeah, I was thinking about whether we need to play that one. But this is very slow. Very, very slow. It's very reasonable as well. Nervous about this black group is not for some reason, is for good reasons, I think. I think that group is indeed a long-term target. But of course, Tengen is doing something. Why is Guan Yu not board 1? Because these guys have also won both of their games. We can't have the same guy on the stream all day. Even if he is a pro. Maybe we're saying the quality of game 2 wasn't good enough. Kicked him out. It's not enough to win. You gotta win better, Guan Yu. Anyway, after this this black move, which was relatively slow, white shows him how it's done, plays a lot faster, like this. If you guys didn't see game 2, it was indeed a very good game. Yeah, black is under a lot of pressure here. White is building up these areas very well, and yeah, this is getting to be quite difficult. Oh, not a good not a good feeling move, I think. If I were white, I'm thinking to try pushing here. So if you block, then I can do this one, and you cannot answer. That would be very bad for you. Now, of course, black is thinking, what if I do this and I cut? Okay, you want to play on the outside, right? Well, then what if I do this and I go here and here and here and here? Problem for black is that white has 5 liberties still at this point, and black, you can see, has 4. So even if white doesn't take a liberty, I think it's favored for white, right? If we exchange like this, now black is 3, white is 4, white wins. So I'm not really that impressed with the idea to put pressure on here, especially since white doesn't have to do that. Like I'm thinking white's going to play outside, ignore, and if black does do this, white will just capture it clean anyway, even though they could capture it wider. Oh, I don't like this. That doesn't seem right. White actually fixed the Aji. I don't think there was much Aji. That seems like it's very slow to me. I think that there was a good chance for white, but to push here would force black back somehow like this. And in general, yeah, I don't think black can even play like that. Yeah, sorry. um, in general here, when white gets to press into the center, white should get rewarded for that for a black group being weak around here. So something along these lines. I don't know exactly what, but if white pushes here, I feel that white should be getting some extra territory in this part. It's definitely going to be a lot more than what white is getting with this h4 move. All right, black played the bottom side exchange there, filling liberties of everybody. No way. Hey, I liked the fix, really. Really? That's interesting. Why would it like the fix? I guess it likes moving it. But black actually made the eye. like he did it. He made the eye. I can't believe it. It's so slow to make the eye. But on the other hand, I can kind of understand. Like that was 2 points reverse sente. 2 points reverse sente plus I. No, it's not worth it. It's not even close to worth it, obviously. Right? That must have been far too slow. Also, there's something interesting we can do. Instead of playing that push, we can actually start here as well. It's kind of a fun idea. So if black goes on the outside, once again, I'm looking at cut here. Once again, I'm looking at cut. Unfortunately, there's like not quite a thing to use it with. It's like so close. We're so close. If we can just make something happen now, it would be great. But no, I guess there's not quite a thing yet here. Annoying. It lost a point or so. Okay, that makes more sense. I can understand that there's follow-up here, which is reducing a potential black area and buildings. Like, this is not a totally small thing. But I didn't think it would be blue. It's certainly not blue. Okay, reasonable. But it's hard to find the right moves this kind of endgame. This is high skill moments, guys. And it's super intense. They're so close as well. White is conserving this as a co-threat, but at some point, that move is just going to be a 2-point reverse sente for black. So we've got to make sure that we take it before the endgame gets down to 4 points. We're not that close to that. So for now, that's fine. White considering how to progress this game. Yeah, I was thinking in general to play to this area too. I like this move. I think it's a good choice. If black had gotten to be the first one to play around like A, then you can see all of this starting to become black territory. But when white plays it first, you see all of this starting to become white territory, and this becomes small, right? So I like the idea to take the initiative here as the critical area. That's probably a good direction of play choice by white. I like his execution as well. The exact move looks annoying for white or for black to have to find moves against. So he tries to build his area and press white back in. I agree, actually. This is also a good move. I was thinking about just playing diagonal rather than knight's move here, but that would have been slower and less powerful, probably. Would it? I don't know. Diagonal and jump, or this one, probably pretty similar, but I totally understand why you would want to try this one. This looks good. And excuse me, white puts pressure over here. Intriguing. Very intriguing. Black needs to keep this safe for the upper. At any time, white can exchange this and exchange this. Guys, remember. So this is not that clean in the upper right. Not clean at all. So that's what white is talking about when he plays here. He says, black, you must play thick. And when you do play thick, you leave behind a cutting point for me. Now, white can't take that cutting point right away, because these two stones are going to get stranded, and these two stones are kind of in rough shape. So he's going to use it from the outside, try to press black in. So what he wants to see now is black answers and white pushes in. And then maybe this area that black was trying to build with that one is nothing. Problem is, maybe black is going to say, how about this part? And yeah, if white doesn't get anything on the upper left center in Sente, that might be some kind of progress for black. I don't know. Do you guys think this is progress or not? Like white is playing moves here, black playing moves there? Probably it's not progress. Ta-da, the center is Dame, as it normally goes, yes. Very normal endgame here, guys. You can see why we do not take the endgame in the center. The game indeed did start with Tengen. Look at it now. This is why we don't start with Tengen. It's interesting that black chose not to connect, but to wedge first, and he got the response from white to put pressure. It seems like that was probably a bad exchange for black, because now when white fixes, white's going to get an extra point of territory or so. On the other hand, black is a lot thicker, so the corner is easier to keep dead, which is nice. Okay, attack from this side means that you're trying to press the white cutting point and trying to press white to play for very limited value. It's a very normal idea. Tengen is a moral victory. You play Tengen and you convince yourself that you're leading. Who needs to actually know that they're leading, and you can just convince yourself? This is a very difficult one to answer, actually. White wants to play through. Like, this one is very tempting. The problem is, if black actually goes for it and cuts here, we are actually caught, and it's hard to make counterattacks that save that. So, like, why did we play 1 and 3, right? But it's so tempting to do that because if you play on this side, you just feel like a lame, lame guy, and that's eventually what White does. He plays effectively there. He's like, at least I linked up like this, but I don't know. This way of linking up is sort of giving back even more thickness over here. It's not like Black has to even use those, but Black definitely has this Sente whenever he wants, compared to playing here. Then White would have the chance to play this jump whenever, so I don't really think it's better to have done the one extra point um, grabbing move here. He just wanted the 1 point on the star point over here, but it's not really very valuable. We have okay, after cut, there was a chance for White to exchange the Atari. He chooses not to exchange the Atari, which does allow Black later on to use this one and then use this one, but that would all be Gote anyway. So it's like another form of, well, that's a 4-point reverse Sente. Oh no, it's not. White can just play answer. Never mind, never mind. If this happens, then White would play here, and Black can't do that because capture. Sorry about that. I had a misread. Misunderstanding. Yeah, of course, that's how that works. My bad. So White just reserves the Atari because he can. As he has been. It's making a lot of sense. Hmm. Oh, interesting move by Black. Running through from that side. That I thought was all dame. Ah, wait. This is good punish. Very sharp. We're using this one again. So if you block, this one comes, and you're going to have to connect and give me the side territory over here. Big mistake by Black. Not correct. Not good shape. Now we're going to have to fall back this way and get pressed and pressed. All of these wonderful moves. Even, why not continue it up, finish it? Something like that. I don't know, maybe Black should connect, solid connect to deny the extra threats. But all these wonderful moves, and then finally White will be putting like counter pressure on and breaking all this area. Black should still play that second line Kasumi. There's no choice. Have to get split here. Honestly, getting split is not so bad because it is a dominate area anyway. So at least he does that. We have this one first without the exchanges. Isn't that losing 2 points on the outside there? Oh, he's thinking if this answer, then I have this Sente as well. So yeah, I might lose 2 points by not getting the comfortable ko. Basically, the reason why this is why I'm saying like that is because this ko, if Black wins it, it's going to kill the corner. It doesn't seem like it's playable for White. So I was thinking before playing this one, we were going to Atari first and then play this so that we get this one as Sente as well. Because I was thinking now, okay, this ko is for these, so probably Black isn't going to do it because it's for a much greater cost. That's why I'm saying that this one loses 2 points. I'm talking about the 2 points over here. Oh, but Black just falls back, allows White to get away with not exchanging. That seems very beneficial to White. Now White can even conserve this as a co-threat for that position, right? If I'm not... Okay, maybe that's too much. But anyway, White falls back to playing the Knight's move. Seems like Black is upset with himself for leaving the split, but to be honest, it wasn't even that bad of a deal so far. Like, so what? We got split. I mean, especially if Black had put this stone over here and gotten more out of it, but he put it here because he didn't want this one. Presumably, he's thinking like, I need to control this area. I don't know how valuable that really is, even. This is a pretty interesting moment. So one way you can try is to do this and this. So if White really tries to cut us, let's say this way, we can try to make the table shape this way. And we won't be able to save those stones, but if white really tries that hard, then we're getting some nice reduction over here, and we can still reduce to these parts too. I don't think it's like obviously bad for black. We lost a couple points, but we gained points over here. We got this done, so a couple points is maybe not going to be big enough to compensate the loss that white gave black the second line move, and even some reduction over here. But black doesn't need to save that stone directly either. I don't know about killing it by yourself. This doesn't necessarily seem like a clear plan. So he just hurt it even harder and left a cutting point behind. I don't really like that Atari as a starting move. If black connects, white will continue to split. So black tries to crush the center. White's obvious move is to block. So now if black blocks this way, white gets a squeeze through the center and he's getting like a lot of points. If black doesn't allow the squeeze, white will just fall back this way, presumably. White gets very thick. Black's still very short on points comparatively. It doesn't seem that effective reduction, even though you get this one. It doesn't seem like that's very good. So he does that one. We're going to think about optimizing it, because this, honestly, is not even that great, despite the fact that we're beating up a black stone, and it's like, it feels good. It's not even that big. Finally get the Hane first. So he is of the school of thought that we can get this push as a co-threat. Okay, and we get the full pushback. If I were white, I would now immediately play here. I do not want black to be blocking at a6 and then capturing in Sente. I have played Yishan before. I was winning the game, the whole game, and then I threw. he got me on a like triple Hane cut, which I burned into my memory. It's very annoying loss. Very annoying. But obviously well played to him. Okay, super strong way. So white is not content with just getting that much in Sente. He wants more. He wants this. So obviously black wants to fight against it this way. Then white would push through. Black could capture. Black could capture like this. This would be extra pushing through this way, giving black some extra benefit there. Black gives up. That fast? This is the endgame gamer? I don't like giving up. Why not push through here? I mean, I understand that the push, so if it was like this, push, cut here, that's Atari, you capture the ko. That ko is probably pretty hard to play, although also thinkable. Probably still hard, like we would have to be giving up something massive and getting something massive. Thinkable. Anyway, Yishan just allowed him to get this. And game hasn't started. I shall inform you that endgame has most certainly started. Endgame is defined as when the moves that you play are not about the balance of power of groups or of areas, like potential about the part of the game which you're playing moves that are not about increasing the maximum of your defined territory. When the game switches from the playing moves for power to playing moves for your maximum defined territory, that's when you go from middle game to end game. So as soon as you start thinking this is a move worth 28 points, let me play the move worth 28 points, you are playing an end game move. Even if the move is like to save your group here, that was an end game when black played it. That was an end game that allowed white to then play back to the middle game, just a really massive end game. Okay, so in the end, white got to scam all of the reduction here and capture a stone here. And this part doesn't even look like it's much to black's benefit in the future when black plays here, White is still thinking to press all the way down that way. Bend 4 ko. White's doing it? Where do you get this information? You're looking at the capture here. You're looking at the potential for White to attack the center, put pressure on this. I mean, Black really put a lot of effort into making sure that this was very, very thick. So White doesn't have very many extra moves over here. He was hovering it. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. Here, 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 here. Interesting. So obviously he wanted to exchange enough that Black won't have an easy time capturing as response, but he didn't exchange all the way because he's trying to reserve that as an additional co-threat. He's being very greedy about how many co-threats he can get out of that. Mm. Oh, interesting answer by Black here. Now when White plays here and here, here, still White has to sort of settle all these things. White can take away the eye. It's going to be Gote for him to do that. Probably he won't end up ever doing that, but he definitely can play moves in the center right now. Menace this Black group. If Black has to actually go and take the stones off the board, by the way, it's a huge deal because there's no way, like if this ever becomes a capture race, there's no way to avoid eventually having to fight a ko. And when you eventually have to fight a ko, you're gonna lose a point or two elsewhere while the opponent is playing these effective moves. So this is why you can see Yishan holding his head. He's like, "Oh my god, man, I'm not gonna be perma alive with this group. That means I lose like later on in the game. I'm gonna lose a lot of points unless I go, grovel for eyes to save myself right now." I think he's probably just going to be resilient about it. He's just going to say, I have as many liberties as possible here, and the the amount I have to pay when you make that ko, that is going to be after all the endgame is already paid, and we've only got 1 point moves left, 2 point moves left. It's not going to be a big amount. That's, I think, got to be his plan, but it looks like it's going to be really, really tough. Yeah, it's very hard to play for Black. You can suggest like, oh, why doesn't Black why doesn't Black fix it all? Why doesn't Black play? Oh, let's just play like this, and yeah, I'll just make my eyes. Now look. So if Black is alive here, which he is, then I don't have to spend the extra moves. But then White plays here, and then we lose the game because this extra territory is too much. White is not down very much at all in this game. So intense. So intense. One thing Black can choose, by the way, is to play the reverse Sente 4-pointer. Reverse Sente 4 points, do what you will. Probably it's not great. Probably that's not good. Probably at least Black would want to exchange this and then play the reverse Sente 4-pointer, but hard to imagine it's that big. That effective. Honestly, I think if I were Black, I would say screw it. Do what you will over there. Yeah, later on I'm gonna have to go and capture that. So be it. I will go capture that later. For now, let me grab my candy on the outside. Let me go put some pressure, break some points, come back to play here if you forgot about it. They both have 5 minutes left on their timer. And they both know that there is waiting for them a big fight in the upper right corner. That's going to happen a long time from now. Falco sneezed somewhere in Europe. White exchanges it. And he's thinking about how to make sure that this is good. Okay, he does it this way. So Yishan does it my way. I approve, actually. I think this is the correct endgame. Put as much pressure on white as possible. Don't let them bully us into playing bad just because they're scary. And they are scary. But we're only going to make that ko happen after a long time. Is this 15-point difference? Surely not. That black has to spend the moves inside in the upper right. It surely isn't a 15-point smaller corner. I mean, black ultimately will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stones and like a couple extra spare points. So he's going to have 24. Oh, 130 to 145? Did white really gain that much? Oh, God. Oh, God. I guess white wins. Wow. So it happened over here. The fact that black has to capture this eventually now. He's only going to get 15, 14 points in the corner here, where originally he thought he was going to get a lot more than that. Yeah, white wins, I guess. It makes sense because black backed off and lost value and lost a lot of value, lost a lot of value. Black does deserve to lose this game. But wow. Hey guys, what do you think of this move? Am I gloating? Sorry. Sorry. I'll come back. Wow. Lost so much control. At a certain point of this game, black was playing A and B, and then suddenly he's playing C, and he's just losing and dying and losing, and yeah. Terrible. Time to kill the L17 stones. The L7 stones. Time to kill what? The L7. Oh, you're talking. Black is saying that I have to cut this. If I cut and kill those, it's working. But come on. It's just not working. Like black literally cannot do it. You can read clearly here, 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 here. White wins. Here, here, fix it. Come back here, 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 here. White wins. Black cannot even escape this way. I guess the only thing would be if somehow Black captured and got an eye from that, and then didn't have to capture the inside. But honestly, it's not even going to be a big deal if White manages to break as much as we're seeing here. But this is the last moment where Black can fight, so he's trying. He's going to try to fight this way, I'm sure. White is going to play here. I guess Black has to cut. Yeah, I guess this is just how it's going to be. Something like this. So Black manages to make the eye. Do you think it's worth it for White to play this one? put a stone inside actively, just to say to Black, you must take all my liberties, fight the Ko. That must be worth it. It's worth so much. Probably he'll push in from the outside first and then do that. Here it is happening. How did White get behind originally? You guys remember what happened? Oh, it was the bottom left corner. It was some very, very awkward play down here where like Black Haned and White didn't respect it at all. And then where, yeah, and that was before White had played that one. I'm sure that was where White got behind originally. But then Black was just like not trying to win. It feels like not keeping pressure on. Now you see why when the pros play, when the really strong players play, they don't do this awkward stuff. They might try to play for simple positions, but they will never do it with an actively bad move. They'll try to play good moves that lead to positions which are easy to play. Painful connect here. White says, "Hey, you can't just you can't just secure some eyes with that. I'm not even going to connect back." Although I think the connect back would be totally active and accurate. No problem with connecting back. But White says, "No, you can't even do that. You can't even put some stones over here. I'm going to atar your stone. Keep it captured. Go for the same line." Ah, tough. I guess another thing, really critical, Black was not paying attention to White's push here. White was paying attention to that. Black played this one. White pushed there. Black got really flustered at that moment. He had to be non-flustered. He had to like say, "Oh, I'm getting benefit from it," even if it wasn't true. So finally, Black put in the effort to go and take the eyes over there. Now, right, if White continues to try to reduce, so what White would do is play here and then here. Then Black can get the eye, but White will cut on this side. That's bigger. You can also start with this one. I thought that starting with the push is a bit better because when you do this one, I mean, I guess it's the same. I thought if you do this one, then you might give Black more, but it's not really giving them more. Like still, if they do this and here, same. Black is alive, but lose the 3 stones. We might see resignation if he counts. Honestly, this is not a close game anymore. I do hope White eventually comes back to play the 4-point Sente. Is it a 4-point Sente? No, it's not. It's 2 points. How did I think it was 4? You guys remember when I counted 4? When did I count 4? It's a 4-point Gotek. It's 2-point reverse Sente. Somehow I got confused. And White captures the 3 stones. As Black lives to finally make sure that the Ko, at least, is not his problem. Hane. answer. You can tell from White's speed of play that he knows he's won. He counted at some point, and he's ready to play his moves right away. He has this one as Sente. That's funny. Obviously, Black cannot go and try to kill something in the center. It would not be worth it. Not that he can even make any good exchanges. So he has to answer that, and White gets to come back. Excuse me. It's toasted. There's nothing to do. Connect under. White, make sure to get the Sente. Good. 2-point reverse Sente is not allowable. And he's going to go to the left side, I'm sure. He just connects the lazy way. Doesn't allow Black to make any switches. Just allows Black to play a relatively big gote if he wants to make some cuts. But yeah, here we're going to see the push through like this. Then White has a clear idea. A, B, Miai. Neither of them has literally any points, so White will ignore. Play this way. Black will not be able to connect under, so this one is worth a lot of points. More than that. This is bad move by White. Definitely inaccurate endgame. Black viewed it as big enough, probably incorrectly, but Black is staying safe. I don't know. I would have allowed that for sure. If you can connect here, you get way more points. Isn't it? Anyway, they played on the left side in game. That was pretty big too. If Black had captured that, in comparison, Black would be getting 3 more plus the right to get 1 more, so 4 more. So that was a 4-point gote over there. Probably smaller than the push here, right? This push should be bigger than 4-point gote. Even this push is pretty good too. There. How many points is it comparatively? I guess it's exactly the same. They're both 4-point gote. Black connect there, 2-point Sente. Force White to connect back. Okay. White wanted to take the 1-point Sente while he could. It's honestly fair because it also is making sure that Black never has this one Sente. If Black tries to get that, then now we can ignore. Atari, you go in here, I capture, you turn, I live. I think it's pretty easy to see visually now. You look at this white area, all that, and all that, and something here. And you compare it to Black's area. There's just a little bit there, something, a little bit here, and then something here, but not that much, and like that's it. White has a big area and Black doesn't, and White has Komi, so that's not fair. White even has a second big area to match all the Black small areas. But it's very hard to resign when you're um, down to a minute on the clock. You don't have enough time to feel comfortable counting and trusting your counting. I would also be playing on here if I were black. $20 points Tengen bonus. I don't know if it works like that. Black did get a kill. I don't know. Is it 1-1 on kills or is it 1-0? What do you guys think? Does this count as a kill? Does this count as a kill? Maybe it's 1-2. It's black. Black just naturally connected under with the first line move, but he's realizing now that was a mistake. He was supposed to play the second line move that white just played. Even if he wins this ko, after winning this ko, he wouldn't have a bonus of territory for that compared to the other way. Yeah, Yi outclassed him in the late middle game for sure, but I is it really outclassing when he did stuff that he knows is bad? Like the reason why I'm so critical of these moves on the bottom side, those like passive moves, is because you know that the game is not close to over, and you know, like, he shouldn't have thought he was winning by 50. They weren't that bad. Yeah, they weren't that bad. And so you can say like this is the problem. Like he went in and he tried to fight afterwards, but they were all not trying to win, trying to do stuff rather than just like have a winning position and carry it through. There's like a way that the strong players play when they're beating you, which is like um they know their position is winning, you know their position is winning. They say, "I will not let you do anything." And they just play good moves and there's nothing you can do but lose. And black's moves here, they don't add up to that kind of a style. After that, what black did in the middle, there were some critical just mistakes. Oh, I got pushed. It's broken. He just like had some misreads, got flustered, didn't play the way that he was supposed to. But the reason why he was flustered is because he had a bad mental about it, in my opinion, with these moves beginning. Like when you play in a way which is like, I'm gonna be winning this game no matter what. Then later when you aren't winning the game, how are you supposed to stay calm? Like you told him that you were gonna win the game cleanly, and then you didn't. How are you supposed to like keep a good mentality after that? So it's natural that after that, when he made some small mistakes, he just made them worse afterwards because there's no way to stay confident and comfortable. The only way to truly win this game is all or nothing, never surrender. Agree. You must try to play well. You must say, my position is winning. I know my position is winning, and I will make it so that my position is unlosable rather than still winning. There was definitely some mistakes around this stuff too. Like he did get outplayed in general when white was handling the center part first. You notice, I think the white move here applying a lot of pressure, and then the white move that knights moves here, all this stuff caused a lot of chaos and trouble problems. We need a Seki to let white live in the top right. Is there a way for that top right thing to be alive? Wait, let me think about it. So there, an unremovable co-threat. That's what you're talking about, right? How strong are players? Black is 6 on, white is 7 on. True. Black is low 6 dan, white is mid 7 dan, AGA. Are there any unremovable co-threat opportunities this game? I didn't even think about it, but it's actually a great question. There are no unremovable co-threat opportunities in this game, alas. Uh, and so the game ends. Yishan never resigns? Fair enough. Excuse me. This is the final scan of the board to make sure that you're not being an idiot when you pass. So he makes sure to, first of all, remove the co-threat in the bottom left. He's making sure to remove all the removable co-threats. That's exciting. Isn't this area rules though? So that was like losing a stone, wasn't it? Isn't it losing a point in AGA rules to put the stone inside your territory? Because we have Japanese rules just with Chinese counting. Yeah? No? In AGA rules, it doesn't lose a point. Really? Oh, because when white passes, it's just putting stones in the bowl. That's right. It's Chinese rules with Japanese counting. That's the other way around. Got it. Got it. Got it. You can tell how little I've played over the board in tournaments. I really should play more. My bad. My bad. Chinese rules with Japanese counting. Got it. AGA is just Chinese with the past tense. Understood. Come to Chicago and Columbus. I would like to. I think I'm planning to. Yeah, everyone did do a fantastic job. All the commentators before me. Thank you all for watching as well this round. I like that they're taking a photo just to a good old habit, even though he has an entire stream VOD to look at. You can still take a photo just for the full collection. Does Columbus have an active Go scene? Columbus, Ohio. Ohio is like one of the biggest states for Go, in my opinion. They have a lot of Go players over there. Columbus is in Ohio, right? I'm pretty sure. Okay, good. I didn't miss my geography. U.S. states. Uh, so they're gonna go through and count. Okay, after this, I believe um, we might have a little more content. Someone's going to send off and tell you what the plan is for tomorrow. But I can also tell you the plan for tomorrow is very simple. There will be 2 rounds, and those 2 rounds are going to be commentated by all stars. Round 4, we have the duo commentary from Paige Edict and Jerry Jaff. Jerry Jaffe, right? And in round 5, the final round is going to be very exciting. I'm sure Guan Yu will be there in round 5. Presumably he didn't lose and won't lose round 4. We're going to have Tin, Indies SN, and Youngkyo. So the star commentator will be Youngkyo in round 5. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. She's going to get to see what these US tournaments are really like. Jerry is a professional comedian. Oh my goodness. We get Paige and professional comedian in round 4. And then we get Youngkyo Do, the very famous pro YouTuber, in round 5. Absolutely spoiled by the commentary. Round 4, by the way, starts at 10 a.m. their time, California, Paige and Jerry, and that's 1 p.m. in my time, East Coast. And then they'll have lunch in round 5. The final round will be at 1 p.m. their time and 4 p.m. my time. Now, all Go tournaments run at a late schedule, so it's going to be okay if you're a little late to that. But Don't miss round 4. Don't miss round 5. Those things are going to be absolutely awesome. I'm definitely going to tune in. Yeah, thank you all for watching. If you don't know who I am a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel, Telegraph Go, where I post good videos. I think I quite like the content I can make, at least. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the future. BadukClub, by the way, is getting really good at this, in my opinion. Look at how, well refined this setup is. We're getting better every event that we hold. I think it was an excellent collaboration with the people who wanted to broadcast the California State Championship here. We're gonna do this more, and yeah, we got some great sponsors this time. If you become a tournament director in the future and you want your tournament to have a live stream and a commentary and to be known, you can reach out to BadukClub, and they have a stream in a box. They did this for California. They did this for New York. They did this for Boston. Really excellent quality. So nice. So the goal is that we can make this a big thing. We can have lots of tournaments being spread to everybody. It's great. Yeah, of course I'm plugging the club for tournament organizers. I mean, this is I feel like this is so easy for tournament organizers. It's getting to be so easy for them. All they have to do is reach out to BadukClub and be like, "Yo, guys, let's get a great commentary and cover a tournament." And now, loads of people who maybe didn't know about the California State Championship or wouldn't have been interested in whether Guan Yu will win it or who's going to be the local from California who wins it. Now they know. Yeah, we get some more coverage. I love it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll stop my very slow outro and see you all later for the next tournament. See you all tomorrow in Twitch chat. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good one.